Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're really paying attention to what's happening around the NFL, especially in the NFC South, you know that the landscape is shifting in a way we haven't seen in quite a while. And honestly, the Atlanta Falcons are right at the heart of this seismic change. There's a lot of buzz swirling around potential trades, salary cap maneuvers, and strategic moves that could set the Falcons up for a serious run in the upcoming season. So, let's dig into what's really going on behind the scenes, what could be coming to Atlanta, and why this might be the most exciting offseason in recent memory for Falcons fans. First, let's talk about the bigger picture. The NFC South has traditionally been a division with its ups and downs, but lately, it's been dominated by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints, with the Carolina Panthers trying to find their footing. The Falcons, though, are positioning themselves to shake up the status quo. They've been building steadily, adding young talent, and now the rumors of blockbuster trades are heating up. These aren't just minor moves. We're talking about something that could redefine the division. One of the hottest topics right now involves Miami Dolphins and their salary cap challenges. The Dolphins, like many teams, are trying to trim their roster to stay cap compliant while also positioning themselves to make major moves. Among the names floating around is Jalen Ramsey, the star cornerback who's been a key piece for the Rams and now the Dolphins. But here's the thing, trading Ramsey isn't exactly straightforward because of his hefty contract, which guarantees him $24 million. Teams are wary of taking on such a large financial commitment, especially with the cap crunch. The Rams are sitting tight, waiting for the right offer, knowing that Ramsey's talent is undeniable, but his price tag is a big hurdle. Now, Jeremy Fowler from ESPN has mentioned that a trade involving Ramsey could be imminent, maybe within the next week or two. But of course, the financial details are still being negotiated. It's a game of patience and strategy. Teams want to get the best value, and the Dolphins are trying to balance their cap while also figuring out what they really need for a Super Bowl push. That's where the Falcons could come into play, especially if Miami decides to get creative with their assets. But folks, let's shift gears to the more tantalizing rumor that's got everyone talking: Tyreek Hill. Yes, the electrifying wide receiver who's been a game-changer since coming to Miami. Hill's current contract is around $90 million, and he's been the subject of trade speculation for a while now. But Hill isn't just sitting around waiting. He's making it clear that he's focused, determined to prove himself again this season. In his own words, he's trying to be one of those guys the team can depend on in crucial moments. That kind of mental toughness and focus is exactly what makes him a valuable asset. And here's where it gets even more interesting for Falcons fans. Rumors indicate that Hill could be on the move, and one of the potential landing spots being discussed is none other than Atlanta. Imagine that, a player of Hill's caliber joining the Falcons' offense. It could be a game-changer. Michael Penix, the talented quarterback from Washington, has been making waves, and with the addition of a deep threat like Hill, the Falcons could elevate their offense to a top 10 level in the league. Think about what that would mean for Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and the entire offensive scheme. Hill's speed, route running, and playmaking ability would open up so many opportunities for the Falcons' attack. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this really going to happen? Well, the whispers in NFL circles suggest that Hill has been working on a body transformation this offseason, dropping some weight to boost his speed and agility. If he ends up in Atlanta, he would not only provide a massive upgrade at receiver, but also give defenses nightmares. Picture him stretching the field, taking the top off defenses, and creating mismatches for the Falcons' offense. That's exactly the kind of weapon that can turn a good team into a great one. What makes all of this even more compelling is the broader context of Atlanta's roster and strategic vision. Under the leadership of head coach Arthur Smith, the Falcons have been focusing on building a balanced, explosive attack. They've invested in their offensive line, drafted young talent, And now, with the possibility of acquiring Hill, they could position themselves as one of the most dangerous offenses in the NFC. They already have a solid quarterback in Desmond Ridder, who showed flashes last season, but adding proven playmakers like Hill would take that offense to an entirely new level. And let's not forget the defense. While we're focusing on the offensive side, the Falcons have made some smart defensive signings and draft choices lately, aiming to improve their pass rush and secondary. The division is competitive, no doubt about it, but Atlanta's roster is quickly becoming a formidable squad that could challenge the top teams. The NFC South is wide open, and with these potential moves, the Falcons could very well emerge as the division leaders come the regular season. Now, I want to touch on the historical significance of these kinds of moves. The Falcons have always been a team with a passionate fan base and a rich history, but for years, they've struggled to find consistency and sustain success at the highest level. This offseason feels different. It's like they're on the brink of something big. Whether it's through smart trades, strategic signings, or developing their young core, the Falcons are positioning themselves to not just compete, but to contend seriously for a Super Bowl. With the right move, especially if they land a superstar like Hill, they could finally break through and make a real statement in the NFC. Of course, everything depends on negotiations, team needs, and how the players respond to these changes. The NFL is a league of surprises, and sometimes a trade or signing that seems unlikely today becomes reality tomorrow. The Falcons, with their strong management and vision, are definitely in the mix of this offseason's most exciting developments. They're not just sitting back and watching, they're actively shaping their future, and fans should be thrilled about the possibilities. Now, let's consider the implications of these potential moves for the Falcons' draft strategy as well. If they do acquire Hill or other key players, it could influence their draft picks, free agency signings, and overall roster construction. The goal is clear: build a team that can not only make the playoffs but go all the way. With the NFC South evolving and new contenders emerging, Atlanta has to be aggressive and strategic. The addition of a player like Hill would be a statement that they're ready to take that next step. Looking ahead, the next few weeks are going to be critical. The NFL offseason is a whirlwind of rumors, negotiations, and surprises. Fans, analysts, and players alike are all watching closely. Will the Falcons make a splash? Will they pull off that blockbuster move that everyone's been talking about? It's entirely possible. And I think, knowing the Falcons' recent history and their front office's savvy, they're not afraid to make bold moves when the moment calls for it. So, as we wait for official announcements, keep your eyes on Atlanta. This is a team that's promising to be more exciting than ever, with a roster that's on the rise and a fan base that's eager for success. Whether it's a trade for a superstar receiver, a strategic draft pick, or a game-changing signing, the Falcons are definitely in the spotlight this offseason. And honestly, that's what makes following this team so thrilling: the anticipation, the hope, and the possibility that this could finally be the year they break through and become genuine contenders in the NFC. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. In conclusion, Falcons fans, what do you think about all these rumors swirling around? Are we on the verge of witnessing a blockbuster trade that elevates Atlanta to new heights? Do you believe that acquiring a star like Tyreek Hill could be the missing piece that finally pushes the Falcons into serious Super Bowl contention? Your opinions really matter, and I want to hear everything you have to say in the comments below. This team has a bright future, and your voice is a vital part of that conversation. I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep the Falcons' flame burning bright. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons!